Beats by Dallas, make it hurt.
It's time. It's time. It's time, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on? I can't start it off wrong. Yeah, I can't. I have to be positive starting off. So, I need everybody. I'm sorry with the formalities and the hellos and all. Look, good evening. That's all I can tell you. Welcome everyone to the Big Time Show. Right now, that is being seen and heard live right now as we speak on the NGBN.TV network page right now, Facebook page, as well as the YouTube page. It's on Roku, it's on Amazon Fire Stick, it's on your Android if you download it. The app, it's a free app. You can go do that now. It's on Twitter right now. It's on Instagram as we speak. It's on, of course, my Facebook page. It will be in just a hot second. It will be. Hope that you would share. Listen, I'm not in a good mood. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that right now. So, if you come for happiness after I get through my first 6 or 7 minutes, I promise you'll understand why. Most of you already know, because you're diehard Cowboy fans like I am, and you already know where I'm getting ready to go with this. So I don't even have to, really say anything. But I'm going to do it. But I have to start off today. And I'm sharing. I hope that you guys will share. I'm hoping that you watched the telecast from this morning that I put on the Big Time Show page, where something incredible happened with the NGBN.TV network page. It's on my page now. So after you get through with me, if you got any more spare time, you can go watch what happened today. Today was a full display, if you let me say it like that, of what the network is all about. Plain and simple. Today, there were thousands of people that were trained in order to save someone's lives, preventing suicide. It was just mind-boggling, the amount of information. Just when you think you know things, you really don't know it all. You have to listen to the expertise from experts that really helped us out. A lot of people claim to be in experts in areas when really they're novices. You don't know what you're doing. Even in the area where I am as a assistant pastor, there's a lot of counseling that goes on, at least in the field that I, have done for so many years. But there are areas that I just speak for myself, that haven't really touched or went to the next level. Preachers are kind of, they just kind of say God will make a way. When you start talking about suicide prevention, it's more than that. You got to get in the dirt. You gotta know how to talk to people, or at least if you can't do it, you got to put them. You got to put them in front of people that knows or who are experts in that field. And then sometimes you just got to step away. Even though, watch this, is going to sound strange, even though you got the Lord on your side, the Lord just didn't equip you for that specific area. Today, I learned a lot. I hope some of you came on where men's lives, or at least people, are equipped better now than they were before they watched the video. Had an excellent training session today where people are more equipped. It's just the bottom line. Thanks to our CEO, Ian Hill. I don't know if he's still on here or not. I believe he is. But thanks to him, who's had a very long day. They're in California. It started at 9 in the morning Eastern time, so that's 7 LA time or California time. They did an outstanding production job. It was incredible, just the amount of information that was presented today. And so I have to start it off that way by simply saying, man, hats off to this network that I'm a part of. Just, outstanding stuff. If you don't believe me, please go to my earlier post from today, where you'll be able to see exactly what I'm talking about. You might learn something, and I believe that you will. And who knows? You never know who you may be encountering, and you may be that piece between them and the other person taking their lives. Maybe it's something that you can say. Maybe it's something that you can do, that you can perhaps help somebody. I had to start it off that way because that may be very well the only positive thing that I got to say today. As all you got people who are coming in, man, I appreciate all of y'all coming in at this particular time. Do me a favor. Why don't you go ahead and share? I'm doing that right now. Forgive me for not looking dead at you in your camera, but just trying to, before I really crank up, I want to get as many people, because I ain't going to say this but once or twice. And, it just depends on how it goes. So it's just an awesome, awesome day. About the NGBN.TV network. Today was a landmark day for this network that is exploding, not only across the United States and Canada, but we're touching people all across the world. This is real serious stuff that is going on at the moment, and I would love for you to be a part of it. You can do that simply by downloading the app to your phone. If you have an Android, we're not there on iPhones yet, but it's coming. But as of now, you can go Android phone, download the NGBN.TV network. That's all you have to do. Just type in NGBN.TV. You should pop up there, have it pop up there, and you can just download it. And so many shows that I guarantee you is more than just sports. It touches about every area of your life. So many people, over 50 people, have shows on the network. It is simply outstanding. You need to jump on this train that we on. I'm serious. We're going places. I hope that you will help with that. If you have a smart TV, you can download the app to your TV. It's really that simple. It's a great network. Greatness, it is. And what happened today was greatness again. Go back to my earlier post where I shared the whole thing, and you'll see what I'm talking about. All right. Appreciate all of y'all. I had to start it off that way because that's the only positive thing I'm gonna talk about today. Now, y'all know what I'm getting ready to talk about, don't you? You could, yeah, just go ahead. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and let me just make sure y'all know your boy pretty well. Go on, put it in the chat real quick. What am I getting ready to talk about? Y'all type it in. I just want to see. I'm still sharing. I just want to see. And while you're at it, go ahead and hit that like button. Smash it about 20 times. Everybody. If you're on YouTube, hit that heart button about 20 times. It's going to take you about 5 seconds to smash that. Just let me know. Just let me know. Just let me know. Just let me know. What am I getting ready to talk about? Let me see. Okay, yeah. The Kevins. Okay, y'all need to share because y'all know I'm finna. Okay. I'm gonna let y'all run. I'm gonna let y'all be the production team today. How about that? You produce the show. I'm prepared. Even if I'm not prepared, I know about it. So y'all gonna put me to the test today. Now, I'm gonna give a slight intro. Then I need you guys to produce the show based off my intro. Okay. See, I don't want to talk about no draft and all that. I don't want to talk about that. No, I can tell y'all that now. I don't want to talk about no draft. Because see, while y'all getting excited about the draft, we have a problem. See? Okay, I see everybody going with Michael Parsons. All right. So let me get my intro out today. Go on, share it now, because I'm gonna go ahead and talk about Michael Parsons. All right. All right. Here's my intro. Isn't on. Wait, I'm sorry. I got a super chat, so y'all know what that means. If you're on YouTube, you hit that super chat. I stop what I'm doing to read you because you thought well enough to, put $5 super chat or whatever your super chat is. He said, "No, all positive today. It's WrestleMania weekend." Then Terry, you're gonna be in trouble today because I ain't positive. Even though it is WrestleMania weekend, I will be watching and all that stuff. And I will be watching. I watched the Hall of Fame last night. I'll be watching WrestleMania tonight, day one. All right. So, but Terry, that's all I can tell you. You might want to skip me today. All right. Here's my intro. It's hard to build a house when your foundation is cracked. It's hard to pile up. You want to pile up the draft, which is the best thing that we probably are good at. But it's hard to pile all that good stuff from a draft when your foundation is raggedy. It's hard to build a team concept when everybody is fighting each other. You're doomed before the first preseason game. You're doomed even before the first OTA practice. You're asking for trouble. You're asking. We are in the process of having one of the greatest collapses without even playing a game. That's how crazy this is. See what I'm saying? We are on the verge. You are witnessing right now a team imploding without even playing the game. I mean, this don't happen often. It don't happen often. It don't. Where a philosophy And two individuals in particular have put their shadow over this whole organization, and it's nothing trending upwards at all. It's nothing. The only thing that I can remember so far this season is that we signed Eric Kendricks. That's, if y'all want to put Jordan Lewis in there, if you want to, if you want to put Jordan in there, guys that we already, pretty much had, okay, I'll let you have that. If some of y'all excited about Cheeto signing back, which is then I'll let you have that. Okay. Hey, Brandon, I see you. If you're happy about that, then okay, I will let you have the positive, because interpretation is, I can give one scenario to 10 different people. It's a good chance I might have 10 different, interpretations. It's very possible that they might happen. Where my music go? I don't like me talking like that. I need some music behind me. See, I'm at the point where my only satisfaction from the Cowboys right now is playing Madden. That's it. Cause see, real life has got me messed up. Real life Dallas Cowboys got me in rehab. That's where I am. I'm back in Dallas Cowboy rehab now. I need help. Cause just when you think it don't get any worse, it does. It gets worse. Just when you think that everything is clear, or we're getting closer to the draft, and you thinking that it can't nothing else really bother us than the stuff that we already know, then they add another chapter to this crazy offseason that we've had. And I preface this by saying, as I said so many times before, I've accepted the fact, I called it actually. If you've been with me, you know I'm telling the truth. I said that, hey, we're in a rebuild. They just gonna show you better than they can tell you. They gonna try to say the right things, but their actions are going to show you something completely different than what they're saying. And here we are. Their actions are showing us where they really are. I mean, how could you not? How can you argue that? You can't even argue it no more. And I told y'all every time I come on, between come on Mondays and Saturdays, I should be trying to come on even more than that, but I just don't have the time. And I unless something major goes on, I could try to slip something in every now and then. But between the time I come on and then the next time I come on, there's something that always happens. And I ain't saying nothing good. I'm not. To all my hopeful Cowboy fans, I'm going to let you have it. We all on the same team. We just under 2 or 3 different umbrellas. All you optimistic Dallas Cowboy fans, I'm going to let you have it. I'm not going to come against you. I'm not out. We need that in the family. We need the optimists. We need it. So for those of you that's trying to find the light at the proverbial end of the tunnel, keep searching. If you found it, maybe you can help some of us out. But don't, you optimist Cowboy fans, don't go off on the pessimistic Cowboy fans. The ones that see the situation, and all we can say is, it is what it is. It's not what we want it to be. We deal from what it is that we're seeing. And what it is that we're seeing is the slow demise of my beloved Dallas Cowboys. That's what I'm saying. a organization that is obviously giving up even before the first kickoff. Because there's nowhere in the world that we can honestly look at the way this team is being constructed. I don't care nothing about the draft because you see, if however many picks we got, how many of them really gonna play? See, we don't. I mean, we don't. Even with the first round draft pick, if you do draft a lineman, are we sure they're gonna play? I mean, really, are we sure? I mean, are we sure? If you draft a running back, are you gonna rob that running back's time by bringing back Ezekiel Elliott for the rookie to stop the progress of a rookie running back who probably would play? I mean, really, come on, seriously. I don't see the light in the tunnel. Now, that's what I thought. Y'all help me, please help me. We y'all help me, please help me, please help me. Y'all share this because I'm going off today. I'm already going off in my own smooth way. I may add, I am. Y'all help me. When you draft a player, your job as an organization, particularly the coaching staff, is to develop that player to simply be the best player that they can be. You have projections of what you think a team ought to, a player ought to look like, especially in his first, 3 to 5 years. If the Lord allowed them to play that long, you kind of got an idea of where you want them to be somewhere at the end of their contract. And if they exceed or they're right there where you projected them to be, usually you go ahead and pay them. Because by that time, they're either two things. Individually, they've either reached Pro Bowl status, at least in those first couple of years, or if they're really that good, they've reached All Pro status. And if they reach that, and they're one of the cornerstones of the organization, and they are, and good players don't grow on trees. Great players don't grow on trees. If they're great coming in, I mean, you're blessed because those type of dudes just don't show up. Some of these guys, come around once every 20 years or so. A Tyron Smith, for example, who's gone on to be with the Jets. He's gone now. But guys like him don't show up every year. That's why he's special. That's why he's going to one day be in the Hall of Fame. A guy like Zach Martin, those guys just don't grow on trees. They're special for a reason. Everybody ain't like that. That's why they're different. Those type of guys come around once every 10, 20 years, whatever the case may be. They just don't happen for you every year. And then you get sometimes these out of this world type guys. Like they come in nasty. They come in incredible. They come in like that. They stay like that unless they're injured. Only thing that will stop them is an injury. That's it. If it's not an injury there, they're going to be at this level for a long period of time, especially if they came in on that level as a rookie. 21, 20, 21, 22 years old. They come in like that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you already know where I'm going. We got that in one Michael Parsons. He's different. He's been blessed with things that not a lot of other people got. The Lord spent a little more time on him with the gifts. that he has. Everybody don't have it. He's different. Rookie year, all pro, first team. Second year, all pro. Third year, all pro. The man don't know nothing else. Been in the league 3 years. All pro every year. Forget the Pro Bowl. We already know he made that. That's the fans voting. I don't care nothing about the fans voting. What do the writers and the peers say? The peers say this dude is different. This dude is one of the best, period, in the game. He don't know nothing else. And when you get that type of dude, you should be trying to keep him. Help me. I even go to the park because I really ain't here to talk about Dak today. But let's just be honest, y'all. Let's just be honest. Dak's career has went up this way more than it has down that way. Considering where he was drafted, even though they really didn't think he was just they really didn't want him. If you remember, they wanted Connor Cook. They wanted Paxton Lynch. Dak's career just did this to the point where he is an all-pro quarterback. Okay? I ain't here to talk about his records and all. I'm just saying career-wise, he's went this way, not this way. He's went this way. And when you get that, if you developed into a guy that's considered one of the best, you probably want to pay him. That's what most teams do. You get a CeeDee Lamb who fell in your lap in the draft. Fell into your lap. What has he done? Oh, well, he's only played 3 years, I believe, 3 or 4 years, whatever it is. All-pro twice. First team All-Pro this year. Second team All-Pro last year. One of the best in the game, no doubt. No doubt. One of the best. A difference maker. Somebody that you can go ahead and make your whole offense, build your offense around him because he's one of those dudes. Usually you will pay these guys. But what in the world are we seeing? What in the world are we seeing? See, I get the argument about Dak Prescott. I get that. We've talked about that extensively. I get it. You don't want to pay Dak $60 million. I don't think the Cowboys want to pay him $53, $54 million, to be honest with you. I get the argument because, as I said before, when you talk about Dak Prescott or any player or any position, you have to evaluate the whole body of work, not just one part. You just can't say playoffs. No, you can't do that. That's not the body of work. You have to throw in the regular season. You have to. And then for the fans that just love Dak Prescott and try to make excuses for him, you cannot just talk about his regular season. You cannot talk about him being run up for the MVP. No, you have to factor in the playoffs. It goes both ways. If you're going to do a proper assessment, you got to do that. And then somewhere in the middle of that lies the truth. So I get people saying, we shouldn't pay Dak. We shouldn't pay him. I get the argument. I'm good with that. But what I ain't good with is the debate of either paying CD or Michael Parsons. Oh, no. No, sir. Because if you're comparing CD, Michael Parsons, in essence, to Dak Prescott, there's no argument. It's 100% production. So you can say whatever you want to say about that, but they no. Not Parsons, not CD. See, The Cowboy fans and fan base, and I'm qualified to say this because everybody knows I'm a Cowboy fan. No, everybody know that. And my Cowboy card cannot be taken away. Therefore, I reserve the right to talk about them in whatever fashion I please. If they raggedy, I'm going to say they raggedy. And y'all know that about me by now. Let me tell y'all something. If y'all talking about Parsons and nitpicking and all that kind of stuff, stop it. He's productive. Bottom line. He's productive. If you're talking about CD Lamb, and you want to talk about, well, that first year he was bad and dropped, stop it. He's an all-pro wide receiver. Stop it. I'll let you have Dak. I'll let you have Dak. I will. I'll let you talk about Dak the way you want to, because a lot of it is justified. But no, sir. We're not talking about Parsons and CD Lamb like they've been a detriment to the Dallas Cowboys. No. No, ma'am. No, sir. No. But see, the Cowboys are trying to portray that. Yes, they are. Y'all know what I'm getting ready to do. Y'all know what I'm getting ready to do. Hello to all of you on Instagram. You see, the Cowboys are full of mess right now. Cowboys are full of mess. You see, this is just too much convenient timing. This is too much timing. I mean, this is just perfect timing. Because the track record shows that whenever a Cowboy or one of the Cowboys that is suspected to get big money and paid, then all the drama come. Y'all done heard about it by now. Y'all knew I was going to talk about it. There it is. There are reports, some people right there. Some people. Who are these people? And it don't necessarily mean that it's Jerry and Steven. Let's get that understood. That don't mean it's Jerry and Steven. It says there are some people within the Cowboys organization who feel that Micah Parsons' behavior has worn thin per 105.3 fan. I've heard, I don't know who this is talking, but let me see. I've heard from this is a quote, from way too many people. It don't want from some people to too many people. You see what I'm talking about. I've heard from way too many people that if Micah Parsons was out of there would be a decent amount of people inside the Ford Center at the Star in Frisco, smiling, breathing a sigh of relief. Okay. First of all, there are some people. That's what it said at first. Then it says, I've heard from too many people. Which one is it? I mean, God Almighty. Which one is it? How many people? I guess you saying, well, one person is enough. Okay. If that's what whoever made this quote, who made this quote here? Let me be nice. Oh, nobody put their name on it. Okay. Okay. But everybody's reported on it. Okay. Everybody's reported on it. Everybody got something to say about it. Everybody got a problem. Now all of a sudden we got a problem now. I got one question. As much of a polarizing figure as Michael Parsons is, what did he do? The man can't go to his mailbox without having somebody snapping a picture. What did he do? I've heard about him supposedly going after strippers. Ain't no stripper came out, and I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying it ain't no stripper done came out and said that he's assaulted me or something like that. Ain't nobody said nothing about that. What did he do? What did he do? I mean, what has Michael Parsons done since the quote is, uh, he what did he say? I have him in there. If he was out of there, or his behavior has worn thin. What behavior are you talking about? What, that he has a smart mouth? Maybe that come along with a cocky superstar. He ain't changed his language since he got drafted in Dallas. He hadn't changed his tone. You loved it before. Now all of a sudden, he's saying some of the same things. Now all of a sudden, it's a problem. Why is it a problem now? I'll tell you why. I'll go and skip over the field and get to it. Because the Cowboys, when it's time to pay somebody, the Cowboys have always tried to play this role here. They go after people through the press. They might even borderline make up stuff in order to have negotiations go down a little bit. J.R. Ewing type mess. And I'm not saying it's Jerry Jones. Because it says some people. That don't mean that it's Jerry or Steven. It better not be Jerry. Let me put it this way. Not considering that a very few years ago, do y'all remember this? Wasn't it Jerry Jones that went against the grain and went against his family, Steven in particular, and brought in Greg Hardy to this team? Do y'all remember that? Greg Hardy had pictures of about 900 guns on the bed, had a girlfriend who had a black eye, had bruises all over her body. The young lady accused him of assaulting her, and you kept Greg Hardy on the team. Welcome him in. Say, hey, we're still under investigation and all that kind of stuff. You signed him anyway, knowing the man was mentally disturbed, had to take medicine, all that type of stuff. You brought him in. Now, all of a sudden, because Michael Parsons' behavior is supposedly wearing you thin, compared to Greg Hardy, what did he do? Somebody help. I mean, what? Oh, I know what he did. I know what Michael Parsons did. What he did was he did what you brought him in to do. The problem is he did it just a little bit too well. To the point, see, you didn't want him to be all pro his rookie year. Good God. You didn't no, cause see, that set the table for where we are today. You weren't looking for him to be all pro his very first year and a Pro Bowl player and first team all pro and take the world, defense over by, like crazy and, take it over by a storm like that. You weren't expecting that. So you want the players to do well. You do. You just don't want them to reach superstar level. Because everybody that's lately that has reached somewhat superstar level, they got a problem with getting paid. Then they got to get dragged through the mud through the media. And now we just done gave up because, see, everybody all pro now. Good God. Dak Prescott is all pro. Oh, my God. Oh, no. We want him to do well. We keep saying we want to win the Super Bowl, but we don't want him to be no all pro because if he all pro, he's going to demand a big, big payday, and we don't want to pay that. So let's put him through the mud here. We love CD. We gave him the number 88. We want him to do well. We just don't want to, my God, we didn't pay Amari Cooper $20 million. Now, what in the world we want to pay CD Lamb 30? We love Michael Parsons. He's a freak of nature. He reminds everybody of Lawrence Taylor. He's really incredible player, but we ain't expect him to be every year an All-Pro, because see, now if he doing that, he gonna demand Aaron Donald type money. He gonna demand to be the highest paid defensive player in the history of the NFL, and we don't do no history over here. We don't want to be responsible for having the highest paid quarterback ever in history. We don't want to be have the highest paid defensive player in history. We don't want to have the highest paid wide receiver or one of them in the history of the league. There's no way we don't want to do that. And all of them are going to be here at the same time? Oh, no. So what we going to do here? I did what I need you to do, whoever these people are. This is what I need y'all to do. This is what I need you to do. At 103.5 The Fan, a radio station that swears up and down that the Cowboys don't have nothing to do with them. But please, if Jerry Jones say, I don't want that person on the radio station, trust me, they're going to be gone. This radio station covers the Dallas Cowboys. This radio station has games of the Cowboys on there. Some of the people that work at 103.5 The Fan, 105.3 The Fan, they have inside information from people that's in the building. Jerry Jones has his own show on 105.3 The Fan. Stephen Jones has his show on 105.3 The Fan. Stop it. This place, it is the equivalent to what Fox News was to Donald Trump. Not now, of course, because Fox News started telling the truth about Trump, and now he swear Fox News is CNN. But for 4 or 5 years, Fox News was the greatest thing of all time until they started telling the truth about him. Now all of a sudden is they're the worst. And please, this is the same thing. In other words, they kiss the ring of the Dallas Cowboys on a consistent basis. So what better way to put out some of this stuff that you see on the screen than by going straight to 105.3 The Fan, because y'all got to help us in this contract, because we don't want to pay Michael Parsons like that now. We want him, but, man, we want him on our price. We don't want to pay. We don't want him to be the highest paid. We don't want that. We're allergic to that's not how we roll in Dallas. We want to bargain chip everybody. We'll pay you, but we don't want to pay you like that. We don't know. You're a little bit too high for us. We got to bring you down a little bit. What behavior are we talking about? Oh. He has a podcast. He does what I'm doing right now. Oh. So now, since really that's all he do, because his behavior is, I mean, I don't know it, but maybe he has a smart mouth, maybe. Okay. What football, did Michael Irvin have a smart mouth? Did Charles Haley, Lord, Charles Haley threw a helmet at you, Jerry? I know good and well you ain't involved in this some people mess. Charles Haley almost took your head off when you didn't sign Emmitt Smith for them first 2 games in 93. If anybody was supposed to be gone then, it's supposed to be you, Charles Haley's supposed to be gone. He didn't do nothing. No suspension, nothing. So what is this behavior? What is it? Oh, he's on his podcast saying after DeMarcus Lawrence said we were tired. DeMarcus Lawrence said that we weren't ready to play. Michael comes back and says we weren't tired. Oh. And started a whole new narrative on his podcast. That's the behavior. Oh, I forgot. I forgot. Michael Parsons on his podcast had Stephen A. Smith on his podcast, a notorious known cowboy hater himself. And he had Stephen A. Smith on after the Cowboys lost against Green Bay, if I'm not mistaken. Well, Michael Parsons cannot really say nothing because the Cowboys lost. So Stephen A. Smith gets to hammer and laugh, and what can go wrong will go wrong, and the Cowboys will mess up. They'll find all that kind of stuff, and there's nothing you can say. Oh, I forgot. I forgot. Forgive me, I'm a little older. I forgot. Jordan Love was on the podcast, and that definitely was after the Cowboys lost to Green Bay. And Jordan Love sitting there smiling and giggling and really saying, we knew what y'all were gonna do. We knew everything. And Michael Parsons was in a position where he really couldn't say nothing because, my God, at the end of the third quarter, Green Bay was up 48-16. Michael Parsons asked him, hey, tell me your game plan. And I thought that was weak as all outdoors. I personally didn't want Jordan Love on his podcast, but that's his podcast. I didn't want Stephen A. Smith on his podcast, but again, that's his podcast. He's in the business of trying to get ratings. Certainly, you put a Stephen A. Smith, you put a Jordan Love on there after they just beat the Cowboys. Of course, that's gonna sell ratings. That's the part where he's at. That's cool. That's his thing. I wouldn't have done it. I didn't like it. So, but maybe, I forgot. Maybe the Cowboys, because that's really all Michael Parsons has done. He's done nothing negative. He has not been in any trouble. He has not been on TV with any scandal or anything like that. The only thing he has done is got on his podcast. So if that's all he's done, and if that's what you call behavior, then what is the problem? Or supposedly the problem? What, now we got to make up something. So now we got a behavior problem with Michael Parsons. Ain't heard that in 3 years. Now all of a sudden we got a behavior issue. I just stick with the podcast because I know they ain't. It ain't really no problem. But maybe Jerry, well, I ain't gonna say Jerry. Maybe some of the brass inside the building is looking at Michael Parsons maybe affecting the brand. And I'm reaching here. Cause really they ain't talking about nothing. Cause I don't see no behavior issue at all. I'm trying to make some type of sense out of this. That's what I'm trying to do. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe Jerry feel like that the brand has been damaged because of their, maybe he said that. I don't know. Maybe, I'm just reaching for straws. The real reason why I'm reaching for straws, ladies and gentlemen, is because it ain't no problem. The problem is Michael Parsons is too good, and they don't want to make him the highest paid defensive player in the game. Like everybody know he gonna ask to be. If TJ Watt became the highest paid, if Bosa became the highest paid, if Aaron Donald became the highest paid, certainly Michael Parsons is going to want more money than any of them. And guess what? So far, as we see it right now, guess what? He deserves to be. Because he has produced at a level that not too many people can get at. When you're that good, you're supposed to get paid the good money. That's the only thing that he has done. Now, I just saw that. I see you, Joe. Here we go right here. You'd rather trade Parsons and get more picks. You don't trade away Hall of Fame players that ain't even reached their prime yet. You just don't do that. You don't do that. You don't. I get it if he was at Tyron Smith's stage, 35, 36 years old, couple couple. Okay, there you go. Okay. Okay. I'm coming back to that. Watch this. Choice Roberts says, "What's Michael playoff numbers? If we're being fair, like you said earlier, well, they're not. They're not. They're not all pro numbers, I guess. However, you can't compare what I said earlier with Dak Prescott because I said a whole evaluation. You can do a whole evaluation, but in the Michael Parsons evaluation, you have to factor in. My goodness, choice. You seen the TV like I have. If you watch the Cowboys in the first place, you know this man get triple team. Hello. See if if we're gonna tell it, let's tell the truth. That's why you can't compare because Dax is more visible or he has more control. There ain't no triple team on Dak unless three men coming to hit him. Dak has decision making to do. So really it's his decision making is his problem. You gotta be evaluated. Michael Parsons in the playoffs or regular season games does not go one on one. It's very rare when he gets it. Let's be honest. If you want to say what has he done in the playoffs, kind of hard to put big numbers up when you're getting triple teamed. Hello, as a defensive lineman. Hello. What man do you know? And see, here's the thing. If we're gonna be honest about the situation when we talk about Michael Parsons, just like you seeing in the comments, choice, just like you seeing in the comments, he gets double and triple team in regular season games. Guess what the results are? All pro. In other words, he still gets his numbers. But I already know what you're going to say. Well, he's just like that. In the biggest games, he don't show up. No, nope, nope. Can't let you have that. I'll let you have that. I will let you have that. Whatever argument, whatever debate you want to have, Dak, I will let you have that. And a lot of things, two things could be true at one time when it comes to that. He doesn't do well in the playoffs. That's a fact. But he does well in the regular season. That's a fact. All that got to be mixed in together. It's a whole different set of circumstances when you start talking about somebody like Michael Parsons. Man, 260, getting double and triple teamed by guys that's over 300 pounds. If he get through triple teams and double teams on a consistent basis like that, then you better pay him because he's be the greatest player in history. Just telling the truth. And you're right. You're right, Choice. So you thinking I'm coming at you. I'm just saying it's a totally different evaluation when it comes to Dak Prescott and Michael Parsons, just because of the position they play. You're right. Big numbers, forget big numbers. They're not even good. I would slightly agree with you on that, but why aren't they good? As a defensive player, you think that a normal man is supposed to get through three guys that weigh 300 pounds? Oh, I'm sorry. Two guys. Two guys double, then you get a running back to chip them. I'm sorry, it's not three guys over 300. Usually the tape will show you that it's a double team and then he'll get a running back to chip him. Offenses gear up. That's why you know he ought to get paid because one man dictates his offensive coordinator is saying, look here, man, we got to put three guys on him. Now, you don't think that ain't what I mean? Why is that? Why does a man require that it takes three men to block him? That ought to tell you all you need to know right there. He's different. He's not regular. When you have to assign three men to block one man, that ought to tell you all. I'm like Johnny Cochran. I rest my case. No, quarterback is not a walk in the park choice. I'm saying your comparison or your first statement was about, like I did with Dak Prescott, a total evaluation, but it was almost like a comparison. You can't compare that situation with Dak. I mean, with Michael Parsons. It's too different. I think most people will understand when you got three men coming at you, it's going to be kind of hard for you to be impactful when a team has decided to take you out of the game. And it's easier to take Michael Parsons out of the game than it is to take Dak Prescott out the game. You can't take Dak out. He's the quarterback. You can take out a defensive player. You want to stop Trayvon Diggs? Guess what you do? Like they did Dion. Just don't throw it that way. Guess what? He out the game. Don't throw to his side, period. Guess what? He's not a factor in the game. Does that not mean that he's not a great cornerback, though? Because he ain't got no numbers? No, the respect is what makes him great. You scared to throw to their side because you know what's going to happen. Hello? It's the respect. It's respect that you send three guys to Michael Parsons. That's respect. Of course you ain't going to have no huge numbers. You got three men in you. See what I'm saying? It's the respect level. When you game planning during the week, you already made up in your mind, one man ain't going to get them. Two men ain't going to get them. We need two men to double him, and then we also need a running back to go chip him, just in case he's just so bad, which he is, that he finds a way to still to get through. We need that third man. That's when you know that type of respect is given. How many guys do you know? Oh, Choice, you missing the whole point, sir. You're missing the whole point. You're missing the whole point. Yes, he has, Choice. It's obvious to me. I don't even have to ask. I can tell you're not a Cowboy fan because there's no way in the world you gonna say this statement right here. And he hasn't been that way for 3 years straight. You obviously ain't watching the same film that everybody in this chat. Whether you agree, whether you want him traded or not, or if you're a Cowboy fan, he's been that dude. He's been that dude. Everybody know that. All pro ever since he walked out of Penn State. All pro every year. There's a reason why he's all pro, because despite him getting doubled and triple team, and no, it hadn't been every play, but it's majority of the time. Choice, I tell you what. Oh, no, Choice. No. I don't have to read it because I've watched the Cowboys. I've watched the film. I got all 22. He is the most held defensive end in the game. He has been either doubled or triple teamed majority of his plays. No offensive coordinator goes one-on-one with Michael Parsons. That's not what Big Time is saying. That is what the film says. I ain't just up here talking. But you're not a Cowboy fan. I can tell. You don't watch us. So I mean, you really, I can't argue with you. Everybody in this chat just about is a Cowboy fan, with the exception of maybe one or two. They know it's the truth. It's the truth. You don't believe me? Go ahead and get all 22. I don't know if you watch film or not. Go watch it for yourself. If you probably don't want to waste time watching. Oh, I didn't know. Forgive me. I was just listening to what you're saying, because that makes it even worse. If you are a Cowboy fan, then Choice, you already know. I ain't lying. If you've been watching Cowboy games since Parsons been in, you know I'm not lying. Shoot. You watched it? Oh no, I didn't ever say you did question my fandom. I really didn't care if you did. I know I'm a Cowboy fan. Everybody here know that. I've been on the battlefield a long time. I ain't this not about the narrative of questioning fandom. This is calling it is what it is. Michael Parsons has been double and triple team majority of his career. More than not. He has not been single coverage. No. 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 No, sir. He has not. He demands a double team. And sometimes it is three. Once you throw in the back on the chip, the film speak for itself. I ain't got to argue. Go look at the film. And you're a Cowboy fan, then you want go check it out and then come back and holler at me. You'll see the same thing I saw. Just that simple. You can't see that when you're watching the regular game. You need all 22 where you can rewind and look and all that kind of stuff. Then you'll see exactly what I'm saying. Just the truth. But because he is like that, and he has produced for 3 straight years to a level that not many guys have done in the history of the league, I may add. He demands to be probably the highest paid defensive player in the game. It's just it's amazing to me. It's just amazing to me that the timing of this complaint, the timing of it is what's getting me. But I shouldn't be surprised because you see, I remember when Amari Cooper was getting ready to get paid, and it was time for him to get the $20 million. Okay. And they, of course, wanted him to take a cut, if y'all remember all this. Of course, Amari did not take the cut. He did not take the cut. And then all of a sudden, they started, well, let me say it like this. I want to show y'all something else. If you remember Amari, it was during the COVID years, if y'all remember that. And if you remember, Amari made a decision to not take the shots, the shots of the vaccinations and all that. Amari decided not to do it. And he got accused of being selfish. A lot of us, let's be honest, a lot of us, because we knew we needed him on the field. And I believe he missed and then had the boldness, Alabama, where he went to college, made the bowl game. And remember at this particular time, everyone was somewhat supposed to wear a mask, at least. Amari went to a bowl game that Alabama was in. And he had no mask on and all that. And I believe he got diagnosed or had a result saying maybe he was positive. A lot of us were ticked off about that. A lot of us were ticked off. We were. I was one of them. I didn't say he was selfish because that's his choice. Maybe he had research on that matter better than, most people do or whatever. And he decided what he was going to put in his body. And what, most importantly, what he was not going to put in his body. So I even though I didn't like it, Uh, I understand because that's his body. I mean, who are we to say anything over his body? I mean, hello. So, but the real bottom line was at the time when we let him go, he was positioned to be one of the highest paid wide receivers in the game, which was going to be $20 million. What happened? Y'all know. Goodbye. Goodbye, Amari. And he was productive. There's no other way around it. Extremely productive. Opened everything up for everybody else. Commanded a double team. Again, that a double team word again. You didn't let Amari Cooper go one-on-one with your cornerback. I don't care if he was your number one cornerback or whatever. You didn't let Amari Cooper go one-on-one. He always had a single, a safety over the top. You very rarely shaded him with a linebacker. It was pretty much a safety over the top. The coverage shifted his way, which means you got 11 people playing defense. You really had 2 on 1 man, which opened everything up. That's production. That's production. And Amari still got his numbers. Still got his numbers. What did they do? They started all this narrative stuff. All this narrative. They focused in on saying he was selfish. Because he ain't do for the team. And they shipped him on out of here. And many Cowboy fans fell for that. But the real truth of the matter is that it was time to pay him. Gone. It was time to pay Cole Beasley. Certainly not an all-pro wide receiver, but a very good one. But his price went up because he got better. When it was time to pay him, what happened? You guessed it. Gone. Dez Bryant's ability had dropped a little bit. No question. But they started bad mouthing Dez. Dez, even to the point where they see their problem with Dez was, and I'll be the first to say I wanted Dez gone myself because Dez was not the same Dez. After all the injuries had hooked up, they were beginning to single Dez. They didn't require a double team for Dez no more. He couldn't separate. The respect that he once had, where he commanded a double team, that was all gone. They were going one-on-one. So I was saying, hey, we need to go on another different way. But what was the narrative? He's a troublemaker. And then the part that made him look real bad was what you were accusing, him getting all animated on the sideline, where it come to find out when they turned them mics on, all he was doing was encouraging people. He wasn't going off on the teammates. It just looked like it. See what I'm saying? When it's time to pay. Now, here's the funny part about the Cowboys. When it comes to the offensive linemen, for some reason in this organization's history, the offensive linemen, other than last year, when Zach Martin flipped the script on them guys, other than that, the offensive linemen throughout the years have never had a problem getting their money. Travis Frederick didn't have a problem. Tyron Smith didn't have a problem. Zach Martin, other than last year, he never had a problem. Terrence Steele didn't have a problem. Doug Free didn't have a problem. They don't have no issues for some reason paying offensive linemen. They give it away. You don't hear about no problems, no contract disputes with the offensive linemen for the last probably 10 to 12 years. It's amazing to me. That is not an issue at all. team-friendly deals, restructure it right so they can always pull from it, and make salary cap, what money for later on and all that type of stuff and reconstruction and all. The linemen have never had a problem. Lyle Collins got paid one time. The linemen never had a problem. It's just everywhere else, it seems, that they are having an issue because it got to the big money. Now, let me say this on that note. I had a phone call from one of my best friends, Cowboy Marlon, who's been on this, not live on the show, but calls in from time to time. We got to talking last night. He asked me a question. I think he just be trying to ask me to see what I'm going to say. I think he be trying to get a preview of the show and all that type of stuff. He trying to act like he my producer and all that type of stuff. I think your listeners all would like to hear all this. And I'd be like, dude, this is my show. I know you're trying, because he used to do this type of stuff too, podcasts and all that kind of stuff. He used to do radio and all that. So he tries to, that type of thing. But he's been friends with me for over 30 years. So, it ain't no issue. But we got to talking last night. And now the debate is about Tyler Smith. The guy that we drafted a couple years ago. Now he's an all-pro guard at least. But if you remember right, and I'm going to go somewhere with this, ain't nobody going to admit it to it, but you heard it here first. I think you heard it here first. Let me put it here. They drafted Tyler Smith. He was a tackle. He was a left tackle. He was. When they drafted Tyler Smith, he was a left tackle. He came in because at any time the Cowboys were anticipating Tyron Smith to retire. So they figured in the first round, they're going to go ahead and get their replacement for Tyron Smith. Great pick, obviously. Here was the problem. Tyron Smith didn't retire. So they had to find a place for him to play because he's a first-round pick. So they stuck him at guard. And he was good. Here's the part that I say the Dallas Cowboys, this is Stephen Jones, in my view. Jerry Jones is in the slight background. But I believe this is Stephen Jones. Y'all check me out on this one. Y'all come on in close. Everybody hit the like button if you don't mind. I'm going to throw something out. Why is there a debate on where the Dallas Cowboys are going to play Tyler Smith? Especially since Tyron is gone now. Let's go back. You drafted him as a left tackle to replace Tyron Smith. You already got your future left tackle in the building. That's what you drafted him for. Why is there a debate? And please don't say, well, it's because he's turned out to be a all-pro guard and he's great. And I would agree with you. He is great. That's why he's all pro. But if Tyron is gone and you want to all of a sudden find out about TJ Bass, whatever the case may be, then it's a simple fix, right? Right tackle, Terrence Steele. Right guard, Zach Martin. Center, you might pick another center, but as of now, Brock Hoffman at center. Left guard, TJ Bass. Left tackle, Tyler Smith. It's simple. It's simple. Right? They love TJ Bass. His film showed that he played pretty good last year. Brock Hoffman's job. Brock Hoffman, when he played, it shows he played pretty well. Here's my thought, y'all. Here's my thought. And you ain't got to agree with it. The Cowboys, they knew what Dak Prescott would be at this particular time. They had already projected it. They knew Dak was going to be, well, I don't think they knew he was going to be an all-pro quarterback, but they knew he was good. But they didn't expect him to go to the level that he went to last season. Okay? They knew that Tyler Smith was good. But they weren't expecting him to be all-pro in his second year. They weren't expecting that. So he's already on a status regardless. He's one of the best offensive linemen in the NFL. He's all pro. But here's the thing. Why is there a debate? And Kelvin is see, you're coming from the coaching perspective and the football perspective. And based off that, Kelvin, you're absolutely right. 1,000%. I would rather have my inside protected too. But as we all know, the Cowboys don't look at things through football eyes. No. They don't look at it like that. They look at things through business wise. They don't look at it through. See, what we try to do as a fan base, we try to make our perspective on them. And we already know by now, they don't operate like that. They operate from a business perspective. So here's the business, and we all know that. You're going to want to keep Tyler Smith at guard because you know, and I know, that left tackle pays more than a guard. We talking a couple $10 million a piece different. What is the highest paid players in the NFL? Quarterback, cornerback, now wide receiver, and left tackle. If the Cowboys can disguise this thing, they would rather go ahead and draft a rookie left tackle who's unproven. Oh, okay. Did you see what I'm saying? They would rather pay a unproven. See, I don't care what you did at San Jose State. You see what I'm saying? I just say you was a first team All-American at Appalachian State. Okay, God bless you. You dominated on the league. You dominated. I see you, choice. Well, I ain't watch Voch today, so I maybe we all on the same wavelength then. Okay, but I'm glad somebody said it because I'm going that route too. This is the NFL. This is not I don't care what you did at Ohio State or wherever you played. This is the NFL. Everybody was a first team, second team, third team All-American in the league. Everybody was. I'm first team all conference. Everybody was a first team all conference player. This is the NFL. Only the cream of the crop. The Cowboys would rather get an unproven left tackle, rookie, I don't care how good he is or whatever, than rather put Tyler Smith at left tackle because they got an idea this dude gonna show out wherever we put him. And it's going to come up 3-4 years down the road, whatever his contract is. 3 years maybe remaining. At the end of that third year, Tyler Smith will probably want to be the highest paid left tackle in the NFL, which means he would be the highest paid left tackle in the history of the NFL. And we all know that when you say the history, that the Cowboys will find and they'll start talking about him. He eat too much. He do this. We found him at the strip joint in Dallas. They'll make up anything. That's what they're doing now. They just did it to Michael Parsons. Now you want to complain. If you're in a position to be the highest paid player at your position or in the history of the game, you might as well get ready to start finding another team. They're not paying it. They're not. They're not. If Dak Prescott said, "Hey, I want to stay. I'll do a team friendly deal." Well, how much you talking, Dak? Well, I do. I'll be respectful. I got a big endorsement deal. I'm on the Jordan brand. I got money like that. I'm good. If to help out the team. If Dak said, "Man, look, I'll stay for $49 million," the contract would be signed today. They don't want to get rid of that. They just don't want to pay him. If Michael Parsons was to say, "Man, I still feel the same way as I did on draft night. I just want to be a Cowboy." It was destined that I'd be a Dallas Cowboy. I knew I was going to be a Cowboy. I just want to be with. Well, how much you talking? How much you talking, Michael? Well, Aaron Donald at the time, or whoever's the highest paid. Well, the kid at Kansas City, Chris Jones, he's the highest paid now. And well, if you can get me about, I'm really, I got podcasts, I got a few endorsements, that'll supplement a thing. If you could just give me about $7 million less than what they making, I take it. Michael Parsons be reconstructed tomorrow. CD. I've been all pro the last 2 years. I've elevated my game. I've done what you asked me to do. I'm balling out there. I'm putting the numbers up. I had the second amount of receptions this season. I've done all that, but I've just signed a deal somewhere else with an endorsement deal, and you know what, I know Tyreek Hill is getting paid, that amount of money, 31, 32 or whatever. And I know Justin Jefferson is next, you know what I'm saying? And Justin is probably gonna get about 30. And I ain't had my big contract yet. I tell you what I do, just to help out the team. Cause see, I want to win. And depending on if this will help out with the quarterback, well, I signed for 25. We had a contract for you in about 30 minutes. It's not about the player. It's about, we don't want to pay you the biggest bucks available. We don't want to do that. You ought to be glad. I thought people ought to be glad. Organizations be glad when their players are that good that they probably are going to be the highest paid at their positions. I thought that's what it was all about. That means your players are pretty good. If there's even consideration for that. That means your players have elevated their game to the point where they are supposed to be. I mean, that's what I thought you're supposed to be happy over it. Got $2 super chat. Terry says, CD better not take no home time discount. I don't think nobody should. If you earned it, that's what you should go after. If you earned it, if that's what the market is demanding, why should you take a penny less? You earned it. You earned it. CD Lamb has earned the right to say, I'm supposed to be paid over $30 million a year. Michael Parsons, because he's next or will be next, has the right to go and say nothing. All he got to do is just throw his resume on the table. That's all he got to do. Speak for itself. He's demanded the right to say he should be the highest paid defensive player in the league. He's earned it. It ain't given. He earned it. I ain't gonna say nothing about Dak because I don't, it's about who's next in the quarterback market. We all know that. Justin Herbert got it. I mean, Justin Herbert, because he was next. Jalen Hurts got it because he was next. That's why he got the money he got. He was next on the list. The market for quarterbacks just keep going up. Whoever's next, that's who's gonna get the big money. According to that standard, which it has been for the last God knows how many years, and everybody ain't Patrick Mahomes. But there ain't nobody signing no 10-year deal. And ain't nobody signing it like they did Mahomes. Mahomes just want to stay. The only people that will sign stuff like that is people who know for sure they don't want to go anywhere. Patrick Mahomes obviously does not want to go nowhere else. That's why he signed a big long year deal. Everybody else, 3 to 4 year deals as far as quarterback goes. It's just the truth. Based on who's next, when it was time for Joe Burrow, he was next. Guess what? Highest paid. When it was time for Josh Allen before Joe Burrow, guess what? He was next. Highest paid. See, at the time when Jalen Hurts signed his big deal over $50 million a year, he was next. And they got paid according to the market. Now everybody want to act like the market ain't that, because Dak is next. It's amazing to me. Do I feel like Dak should get paid $60 million a year? Probably not. But I didn't think that Justin Herbert was supposed to get paid $52 million a year. I didn't think Jalen Hurts, based off one good year, was supposed to get $51 million a year. Joe Burrow, I'll go with Burrow, maybe. He took his team to the Super Bowl. I definitely will agree with Mahomes. He wins the Super Bowl. Bowls, plural. I agree. And we got a bunch of guys who's going to be next up, and they're going to get paid. They're going to ask for the big money. What in the world you think Brock Purdy going to ask for? Hello. B-Bird, I got a super chat. Why would a player sign a team-friendly deal in Dallas when they won't use the money to sign free agents anyway? Exactly, B-Bird. I even got a better one than that. Ain't no free agents want to come to Dallas. Why? Because they see how Jerry and Steven, particularly Steven, is doing the players that are there. Dallas won't even be on the list. Free agent, matter of fact, the Cowboys don't even entertain these type dudes we talking about. They don't even bring them in. Shoot. Derrick Henry y'all done heard it by now. Derrick Henry was saying, man, I was already in Dallas. I was waiting on them to call me. I was waiting on the Cowboys to call me. I live there, just got a house built there. I'm a Cowboy fan. I wanted to play with the. They ain't pick up the phone because they cheap. The only way we gonna get done, and I'm gonna get done because I talk too long anyway. See, I can't get excited for the draft because the foundation is messed up. See, y'all can get excited about it. We draft people and shoot, they don't even get on the field. Stop it. Special teams players, practice squad players. Come on. I can't get excited about the draft. I can't get excited about it. See? And Frederick, 1,000%. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league. But unfortunately, that ain't the business of the NFL. When it comes to quarterbacks, the standard is who's next. And got a little bit. See, like Baker Mayfield was next, but Baker ain't got nothing on his name. You see what I'm saying? Baker Mayfield was next, but he ain't on that level. He ain't got nothing on his level, nothing on his resume that says I should be the highest paid quarterback in the league. He don't have anything, nothing. But all the other quarterbacks, what in the world Trevor Lawrence doing? I mean, come on. I mean, what he done? But guess what? Got paid, right? What has Justin Herbert done? Seriously, what has he done? Guess what? $52 billion. At the time, highest paid quarterback ever. What does Kyler Murray do? What did Deshaun Watson do? What did Kyler Murray do? What did they do? And y'all want to? It's about who's next. Guess what? But the rules change when it's time for Dak. If I was Dak, what's up, Jake? You inbox me, Jake. Appreciate you popping in, man. Be glad to come on your show. We ain't done it in a while anyway. I'll be glad to come talk to you. Just inbox me. B-Bird. Super chat again. I'm with Coach Marv now. The Jones may be hurting for money due to the failure of their other business interests. They might not just be crying poor. Interesting. Very interesting, B-Bird. I don't think they're hurting the Cowboys just make way too much money. I don't think that personally. Of course, I don't know the books. I just think, man, that Stephen Jones has smothered this organization with a system and a strategic plan of his version of how to build a football team. And you know it's the truth because it ain't Jerry. This ain't the way Jerry operated. And the way we've been operating has been the absolute cheapest way possible. The draft and developmental system, the thing that it is that Will McClay has hit a whole lot in the draft because it ain't Steven and Jerry because they ain't watching no film. They ain't doing all that. That's Will McClay and his scouting department. They have watched the film. They have made great choices in the draft. And this is the way that they have built the team. And a lot of people say, well, that's how you build a team. I get it. And the Cowboys have hit well in the draft. But when you keep hitting the same wall, you got to change something. They refuse to do it. They believe in their way. And I believe Stephen Jones is slowly but surely showing us the future of what this Cowboys organization is going to look like when Jerry is no longer running it. We getting a small preview. It's going to get worse because in his mind, this is the way to do it. And yeah, you winning games, but you ain't getting the ultimate goal. You ain't getting close. We are seeing the slow demise. Y'all remember this now. Remember this Michael Parsons thing. How they always use the media, again, 105.3 The Fan, to start the public negotiations. What is the strategy? Find something that's negative and talk about it to have everybody in the whole world talking about it and make it seem believable because there are going to be people that are going to believe what we say because we don't like Michael Parsons in the first place. And they're going to run with it and we're going to get to talking and we're going to have all this type of stuff and you might even use it. Wouldn't be the first time. They did it with Dez. They did it with Cole Beasley. They did it with Amari Cooper. The list go on and on and on. I just brought that up. And it's hard for me as a Cowboy fan. I'm through after this. It's hard for me to be excited about the draft when even though some of these players may turn out to be real good, but you're talking about adding to a foundation, but the foundation right now is extremely shaky, if you ask me. It's raggedy. And everybody talking about, well, trade away these people to get more picks. I mean, some of these people that y'all talking about trading, these ain't regular guys, man. A Michael Parsons come around once every 30 years. This ain't no. The draft is a crapshoot anyway. Just because they're good in college don't mean that they're gonna be great in the league. What we need, I mean, don't know. All right, I'm done. Y'all got the line. 901-654-6853. I ain't got much time. There are a couple people in this chat that if you call, you ain't gonna be on long. So you already know who I'm talking about because you ain't talking about nothing. 901-654-6853. You can call in right now. I've talked long enough. I got my guy on. See you right now.
Call from Coach Marv.
That's one person I accept. That's one person I will accept. Got Coach Marv in the building. What's up, Doc?
Yeah, make sure.
Go ahead, Coach. You on? Coach. Coach done hung up.
Call from Eastside Herald. To accept.
Y'all don't worry about it. Coach Marv, you call back in a minute. Eastside ain't gonna be on long. What, Coach? I mean, Eastside. What? What's going on here?
Call from Coach Marv.
Hey, Coach.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was still on, but I don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good. You got that raggedy East Side trying to call in. And, nobody. I'm gonna hang up on him anyway. Go ahead.
Well, it's crazy that you seem like the 105.3 is first they go after Tuck, and then now they're going after. It's a very sad time when you have your own media attack these people, and they attack these people because the Joneses has got us really fooled that the salary cap is a real strenuous thing, and most teams would look at the Dallas Cowboys structure of how their players are and how they're spaced out as a good cap source. We could say that I think a lot of people don't really understand one thing about the NFL world, and as well as the professional sports world, right? It builds your value as a person, but it's not the best money making structure to have. That's why most of these, 100% of these owners make their wealth with their other businesses, and these are what we call very expensive wealth building hobbies. And once you see a owner, when you see an ownership sale, most times their other businesses are not as doing as well, and they're just trying to get the value out of the sports franchise they have. So they sell it for way more than they bought it for. But it doesn't mean it doesn't always convert into being a cash thing, because we have to understand in any business, if you have a lot of overhead, that business is hard to make money. And a sports franchise is one of the biggest overhead things that you could ever have. Signing a contract to a player and giving him $100 million doesn't always equate that you're going to make that money back, because it's way down the line how you're going to make that money back off that player.
Yep.
But, and yeah, it's been some signs. I don't think we see the tea leaves or the signs of the Joneses don't want to pay cash. I've seen when the Jerry Jones just talked about the other day when they asked about Mike McCarthy and why he didn't sign to extension and why they didn't move on. And he was like, he pointed out that they didn't want dead money in coaching.
There's no such thing.
Yeah, he told that. And listen, the NFL has about, and it went on in the article and says the NFL, yes, have had a lot of problems with what we call dead money. What that means is That's not dead money like on the cap, where it's the money that's sometimes written on the cap. It's actually money that you have to pay for a person that's not doing the services. Where the NFL has about $600 million of dead money on coaches and GMs that have been fired before their time their contract had ended, and they had to pay those guys that money. Because when you fire a coach, most time you let go to other coaches and you have to pay. So it's $600 million. So that's a part of the business. But that tells me that you got a problem with cash, because what you tell me is that you really don't have confidence in the guy because you did sign an extension. But the only reason you didn't fire him because you didn't want to fire him and say, well, I got to pay him that $4 million and then I got to bring another guy in here.
Yeah.
That's going a little bit above what we want to say cheap. I think that's going to the point of, we're not talking about 30 or 40 million. We're talking about $4 million. And we want to talk about how billionaire companies, and we talking about $4 million, we're talking about, to me or you, probably pennies.
Yeah.
So that gives me a point. And then you don't, in your signing bonuses this year, of all the guys you signed, you don't pay less than $1 million in signing bonuses. So that's how you distribute the cap. But I heard Jerry say something one time. He said this year, he said, what going all in means? He said going all in means we're going to sign our core players, right?
Mm-hmm.
And which is signing your core players. You earmark your core players. You sign your core players, and when you sign them early, you say, okay, we're going to spend the money that we have, the bonus money, to give them a reasonable contract. Yeah. And then we're going to make sure that their cap hit is going to go down. And it's probably when you sign a guy to extension, you're not going to feel a cap hit to probably maybe 2 to 3 years after you sign that contract, based on how you structure it and what you put up front. And then you will have some cap room where you don't have to go out here and get these free agents. When people think we need to go out here and get free agents, let's say we want to, let's say Derrick Henry. We don't have to go out there and sign Derrick Henry to a 5-year, $45 million contract. You can get Derrick Henry. You could have got Derrick Henry if you offered him $7 million for 1 year. And you know what Derrick Henry would have been? He would have been in Dallas.
Yep.
But you're not going to get a Derrick Henry. You're going to offer him $2.1 million or $2 million or $3 million. No, you're not going to get that.
No.
You're not going to get that. So it would have gave us the opportunity to say, hey, we're not signing long-term guys. We may sign a couple of guys here and there on 1-year deals, but we're going to sign them on a reasonable 1-year deal like Bobby Wagner signed for $6 million. Mm-hmm. So, but you don't do your CD Lambs and your Dak Prescott. You don't come up and say, hey, we're going to sign you to the money. We're not worried. The money, we're worried about that salary cap hit probably in 26 or 27. But we're going to have the cap is going to grow up. And we're going to free up money so we can do 1-year deals for certain people to come in and help this team. But what would that take, Big Show? That would take for you to give CD Lamb a contract and roughly like what you did with Diggs, maybe $19 to $20 million up front, and say, hey, his cap hit is much less. We have room. Same thing with Dak Prescott. Mm-hmm. We got room, and we'll think about it later. But that takes cash money. Mm-hmm. And you're not, it's not about, well, how that's going to be. You're not going to sign a guy in an extension. He's going to take up all the salary cap because you signed him this year in the extension. Most times you sign him in an extension, he doesn't have a big cap hit. Right. Dak Prescott, when he signed his contract, he ain't had a big cap hit until the last year, which is the last year of his contract. Exactly. So you didn't feel the weight of Dak Prescott's contract 1, year 2, year 3. You feeling it now in year 4. Yeah. So do you probably if you structured another contract the same way, probably would be the exact same way. Mm-hmm. But they got people fooled, and they got this privilege. See, this is where when you start destroying your own, you got this arrogant privilege that you think that it's a privilege to be a Cowboy. And when you hear people say people in the building are getting problems with Micah's attitude, behavior. Now, I have been one of the components that says that Michael Parsons got to give me more.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be like this, and I'm being honest with it. I'm gonna be honest with you. When you tell me that when you promote that pressures, you keep saying pressures and pressures and pressures as you the top pressure guy, that is one of the most arbitrary PFF stats you could ever get. If me or you will ever watch a film and say this is a pressure, we would probably be like, no, that judge is a pressure. I wanted to see him have more tackles, more quarterback hits, and more forced turnovers. Mm-hmm. But that part is promoting. We're pushing him to be the better player that he can be. But if you're talking about, if they're talking about, because he is talking about, getting better players or getting something or whatever, you don't say what he's being a problem with, and you just don't like his attitude. Yeah. This tells me that this is a outright attack on his character.
Exactly.
So where does that come from? That comes from he's not being the corporate guy that you want him to be, and he's making waves in that locker room because he don't want to be the corporate guy. So, but who created that monster?
They did.
You created that monster because you allowed him to do what he wanted to do. Mm-hmm. You allowed him, and I'm going to tell you something I know for a personal fact, and everybody going to jump on me and go crazy about this. He didn't play linebacker because he didn't want to play linebacker.
Bingo.
You created this monster.
Yep.
And now you're trying to rein it in, but you're doing it in the media. Now you're trying to say, well, that, we're trying to do that because he is vocaling himself in there. He's not being the corporate guy.
Exactly.
But you killed Dak Prescott as well, and Dak has been the corporate guy that you wanted from day one.
Day one, Dak.
And you're still killing him. And for me, I get upset when Cowboy fans keep talking about contracts. I've told people this for the longest. We talk about extension, we talk about contracts, we talk about paying people. See, this is the attitude we get into our players and our coaches and whatever. And now that's what they're thinking about. But the first preference of any great franchise, they're thinking about winning.
Bingo.
And I think we got this thing over this offseason talking about getting these free agents and whatever. I've been around football for a long time. We had more than enough talent to win a Super Bowl or at least get to an NFC championship game this year. But there's one problem. Nobody wants to talk about what the real elephant in the room about the Green Bay game. Mm-hmm. Our team was not ready
to play. Oh, yeah.
And that comes from
coach,
the guy that's standing on the sideline as head coach. Yep. Because we want to talk about the Super Bowl, but this is not just the only time that this guy has done this type of thing. He had a Green Bay team that was 15-1 and lost to a Giant team in his home stadium. He was a guy that had led Seattle 3 quarters and lost a NFC championship game to Seattle when Russell Wilson threw 4 interceptions and they still came back and won the game. Mm-hmm. This is his MO.
Yep. He ain't changed.
So I'd say this. The biggest mistake that I feel, there is no salary cap on coaches, but you got 1-year coaches, you got guys, some of the guys, and first-year coaches, you got a low-paid coaching staff. You're not spending money on coaches, and I can document every Hall of Famer from Emmett to Troy to every Charlie, even other players. when they did all their interviews after the season, when we was really in shock about the Green Bay game, never did one of them talk about play. They say, yes, every team needs. Yes, there's some players you might need to get you need to get better at, places you need to get better. But they talked about the mentality of the football team, and that mentality has showed all year. When you're not a strong mentally team and mentality team, where it shows up, Big Show, when you play on the road.
On the road, on the field.
When you play on the road, right?
Yeah.
Where it shows up when you playing big time games. Where it shows up when you are overlooking guys going into overlooking a team talking about San Francisco. I'm gonna tell you for sure that I've talked to somebody who's been in that room, and they told me that they were watching San Francisco film during Green Bay week.
Mm-hmm.
So you wasn't ready for this team, and Green Bay said when they run the clips about what Green Bay players said during the game, before the game, they never talked about what Michael Parsons good. They never talked about what Dak Prescott good. They said, and all the teams have said, hit them in the mouth.
Hit them in the mouth.
They're front runners.
Bingo.
And they'll fold up.
Exactly.
They're not talking about the players or do they have a good players. They got players that say that they're talking about they don't have the mentality.
Exactly.
People want to talk about the linebackers in the run game. But did the run game lead wide receivers on several occasions when people were getting big plays? Did anybody think about the quarterback only completed 16 passes for almost 300 yards?
No.
Did anybody say that this was not a total failure from a team that was not ready to play? Nobody talks about how the offense sputtered and was arguing and all this stuff on the sidelines, and they had to get rolling, but it didn't get rolling to the second half. And we want to talk about the interceptions Dak played, he threw, but he was basically he fought out of his 2 interceptions in the first half and ended up throwing for 400 yards. But I watched a team in Kansas City, Big Show, and I ended on this. I watched a team in Kansas City that their coach knew that their offense was not that great this year. We want to talk about Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, we want to say he's the greatest. But do you know he in 5 games this year they didn't score a point in the second half? Do you know that this guy got to the AFC with AFC Championship playing on the road against the best team in the league win in the team, playing against the MVP of the league on the road in Baltimore, a hard place, and not score a point in the second half and still won the game and got to the Super Bowl and found a way to win.
Yep.
Because his team from top to bottom was grind and well put together, and they had to grind to win. That's why they let people go. They'll go and get somebody else, and that mentality will help them get over the hump. And yes, Patrick Mahomes is going to get over the hump, but if you were ever to sit down and interview him and talk to him, he would tell you himself, I'm just part of the plan.
No question.
That's all I am. But we want somebody to be over the plan, but nobody talks about the mentality of football. We want to talk about contracts, and I've told everybody, do we want the highest paid players in every position, or we want to win Super Bowl? And this is not defending Jerry and them, but this is what it comes down to. We had enough to win, but we failed at our job to put it together. And we would play Green Bay 10 times. We probably win 8 out of 10 if we come ready to play. And that's all. Hey,
appreciate you, Coach.
Nobody talks about that.
Appreciate you, Coach.
Appreciate you, brother.
All right, man. Bye-bye. That was awesome. And that's how we're going to end it right off there. All facts, bottom line. But we got, and coaches giving you on the field stuff, which is just the truth, because that's what the bottom line is on the field. But what I'm talking about today is that when an on the field is messed up. And what happens when off the field in the upper room where the big boys at? What's happening when that's messed up? That's what I talked about today. Those that came in late, you might want to pop in and check it out. Check out the replay of this, and hopefully, whether you agree or not, hey, that's on you. But we this is I don't remember off season like this. I don't, and it's getting ridiculous. And I'm almost, the draft need to hurry up and get here because that's the only thing that's gonna make everybody feel good now. Is just the draft because all this in between stuff, it just ain't working. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it. I'll see you guys on Monday. We'll pick this back up, and I'll holler at you. Get ready for the Sports Arena show with Eric Wilson on the NGBN Network. Until then, on Monday, I'll see you. This has been the one and only, the Big Time Show.